What's up, fam? It's your boy, and you already know what time it is, baby. Hey, look, we about to get into a video about N1 Finance, man. I'm going to break down a lot of the questions that was asked to me over in the Discord as I released the Metaverse ETF video, and I'm going to break a lot of that down here in today's video because, man, I want to make sure that you understand the benefits of N1 Finance and what I see as the pros and cons between that and Robinhood and Webull, and I'm going to even walk you through some of the things that a lot of people may want to have on their minds and they want to understand. So this is going to be a very thorough video in that aspect, and you can actually follow a lot of these steps whether you're on the mobile device with your Android or iOS, or with your own desktop or even on the laptop. We're going to get into a lot of these features, and I'm going to break it down for you as seamless as possible so you can understand where we're at. So what I'm going to do first is just actually log into the website so that you can get a vibe for actually what is going on over on N1 Finance. So let's head on over there real quick. I'm going to log in. So, or better yet, what I'll do is I'll show you the home page first, so that way you can see what's actually on N1 Finance as you come to it, and you can actually see how to operate the website. So what you'll see currently right here, right now, is that you have invest, borrow, spend, YM1 resources. Okay, so if you hit the YM1, how it works, it breaks down everything in detail for everything that it does. It invests where you can actually build your own investment portfolio for free and maintain it automatically. You have the borrow button on here where you can actually get access to a line of credit. You got the spend credit where you can actually integrate checking accounts and credit card accounts, okay? But then also, if you actually sign up, the very first year of N1 Plus is free, which they consider $125 value, and you can actually sign up. You can use the feature, and then we'll get into some of those features here in a second, but you can actually cancel this anytime that you feel ready to prior to the first year, and you come with scot-free without having to pay anything for maintaining the N1 Plus account, okay? So now what are some of the things that they give you for the N1 Plus? You get 2% loans throughout N1 through N1 Borrow. You get smart transfers. You get custodial accounts. You get 2 trade windows. You get a 1% annual percentage yield on checking. You get a 1% cash back. You can send checks, and you can get credit card rewards. Now, the main thing out of this that I think that you will really care about, you may care about the custodial accounts as well, but what I think that you will really care about is that you can actually do 2 trade windows, and we're going to talk about that here. But you see what it says: invest in the morning or the afternoon or both when you have more than 25,000 equity in your portfolio. For some of you who are actually following me, you may have this type of money in your portfolio, and this may be something that you may actually care to do. But let's talk about this a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in right now, and we're going to actually go through some of the questions that people have as it comes to dealing with actually N1 Finance. And I want to answer a lot of these questions. So if you find value in this type of content anytime throughout the video, definitely hit the like button. If I come up with something that makes you ask another question, definitely comment down below what question that you have so I can actually make a follow-up video to answer any of your questions that you may actually run into. And then definitely, if you like the type of psychology that I bring to the stock market and even help you with your mobile devices or get into your brokerage accounts, definitely hit that subscribe button and bang that notification bell so you can stay up on the hot plays with me and even be notified each and every time I drop way more high content like this. So let's jump over into the portfolio now that it's logged in, and let's look at the Metaverse Pi. Now, if you have not yet seen my video about the Metaverse Pi, it's going to be a card that's going to pop up here that you can actually check out after this video, and I even leave it linked down as the first comment of the day. It'll be the pinned comment of the day from me, and so you can check it out down there after this is over with. And I'll also leave my link for N1 Finance if you decide to sign up, where you can get $50 just to join N1 Finance. So let's talk about that. There's a little bit more here in detail now as we're looking into what's going on inside the N1 Finance. A lot of people have asked questions about what is some of the differences between Robinhood, Webull, and N1 Finance. So what I want to do is actually tell you, I'm going to write it out for you from my perspective of what you need to worry about when it comes to Robinhood, Webull, and then you get obviously N1 Finance. So if I write this out, this is Robinhood and Webull. We're going to put these together, and then you got N1 Finance over here, okay? Well, when it comes to Robinhood and Webull, you definitely can trade stocks. You can do options, and you can actually do crypto, okay? These are some of the major things that you can actually do. I mean, you can obviously invest in ETFs if they're available. Only thing that you can't do is do over-the-counter stocks or anything of that nature. And it's really interesting. I might need to verify this with M1 Finance, so we'll do that when we get over into the actual desktop feature of M1 Finance. Now, on M1 Finance, from what I have seen, and until I'm proven differently, you can only invest in stocks. Okay, any type of company that trades in the open stock market, you can invest with them over in M1 Finance. Now, so what is the significant advantage of actually working with M1 Finance versus rocking with Robinhood or Webull? Well, for that reason, I think that is called portfolio allocation. So for those who don't understand what portfolio allocation is basically you just take the whatever percentages that you actually want a stock to have. So let's say you had 3 stocks. Let's say you had AAA, ABC, and BBB. Okay, and say you wanted to have the one stock to have 33%, you had 0.3, another stock to have 33.3, and then you had another stock that wanted to have 33.4. Okay, and you allocate, you put $100 in here, right? This is $100. The $100 will get broken down by those percentages at those values, and that will happen continuously each and every time until you rebalance the portfolio for one position to weigh more than it already really does. That's the advantage. When you come over here to Robinhood and Webull, you technically have to manage this yourself. You have to basically keep up with what's actually going on in your portfolio and know when to trim the position here. But with M1 Finance, you can basically hit a button called rebalance, and it's going to actually reallocate the positions in your portfolio, where it's either going to buy more of the new positions that you have increased the weighted average of that you wanted to hold in your position, or it's going to buy more as well to bring those positions that's underweight to actual balances that they're supposed to be at. So I'm going to show you this now. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it a little bit more. This is what everybody's here for. So that's the first question that I think I got out of the way here, is why and how is the platform different from Webull and Robinhood? But simply enough, Robinhood, Webull, and M1 Finance are actually easy to use. So if you're a new investor, you should not be intimidated by any one of these 3 apps alone. I literally would not. I would keep my opinion to myself about Robinhood in this video, but because we're talking about M1 Finance, I will say M1 Finance actually makes it easy for you to transition from either a desktop or to a mobile application, and it's very straightforward on how to use it. So let's look at the actual desktop of this actual portfolio. Okay, so now you see when you come into the actual dashboard of your M1 Finance account, basically it shows the pie that you actually have available and that you created at the point in time. So I only have 1 pie, so I'm sure if I created another pie, that would be another way of actually showing 2 pies. So let's look at this actual how this actually breaks down. So you see that I actually had $510.82 in the metaverse pie. You see I have a gain of $10.89, and I have a return of over 2.18% in just 1 day of actually creating this pie. Now, I deposited $500, so I have a cash balance of 3 cents left because it actually spent $499.97. That's my net cash flow, and then it shows my market gain, and it shows how many earned dividends I'm suspected to actually get at this point in time. So if you wanted to see the dividends, you can hit view. So we're going to hit it together. So for the dividend, I'm only supposed to get on my shares that I have of Apple 4 cents for my dividend at this point in time. Okay. So we'll escape out of there. Then you'll see here that this basically has a share pie feature if you wanted to share your pie, if you made one. But then this actually is the pie percentages already laid out, right? So it shows the overview that we saw up there on the dashboard. But then you can click these links now. Right here, you see this tab. This is Tesla. It's $24.81 in this portfolio of Tesla, which is 4.8% portfolio, which means it's overweight as it purchased it. $24.86 overweight, 4.8% of Apple. And all these pies are going to look like they're overweight at this point in time, right? On this side, because when I purchased these, I did a new reallocation after I purchased the original allocation, right? Because I added more companies into the pie after I had in my video that you'll see if you actually use that first comment down below. So you'll see that these have not yet been purchased, and this is why it's actually overweight, and these are all underweights at this point in time. And that will happen as I continue to buy and sell more positions into the account, okay? So what we want to look at now is actually, I want to take you down here. I want to show you these positions. You'll see the actual is at the top, and then you'll see the targets, okay? So these are the actual percentages right now, and then these are the targets. and you'll see that actually this is actually going to be affected by price change in the actual portfolio as well on each one of these individual companies. As these companies grow bigger, the percentages that they're going to be in a portfolio is going to be bigger based on how much money I have allocated to those positions. And then this is why I think you have to kind of rebalance the portfolio every now and then, or you can just leave the percentages as they are, as they overweight until you rebalance it. Then that actually will affect what you actually have here. So if you was to actually hit the rebalance button right here, this will actually lead to committing actual transactions in your portfolio where you actually do buy and sells, right? You can buy or you can sell the whole entire portfolio, but if you wanted to do a rebalance, it tells you during the next trade window, M1 would buy underweight slices and sell overweight slices to bring your pie back to its targets. So basically that means that you're actually committing actual transactions that can be taxable events. So let's look at that in the new and basically how you can actually go about that here in M1 Finance. Okay, so if you wanted to actually rebalance, we'll type that in. If you did rebalancing, it will tell you potential tax implications. Anytime you rebalance your portfolio, you may initiate buys and sales of stocks. Sales of security may carry tax implications, which you should always consider before making a decision to rebalance your portfolio. So that's basically what I wanted to show you there. So we're not going to do that right now. We're going to go back up to the holdings. So let's talk about the holdings. So we're talking about the holdings. What you're going to see currently at this point in time is that basically there's 14 positions in this portfolio, like I already showed you before, and you're going to see the shares, the breakdown of each one of these positions in the account. So with all that is actually said and wrapped up, it's going to be just me allocating new money in each time, and it's going to continue to buy these shares in these positions at their percentages and their targets. And it's going to actually just weigh it down as it possibly needs to as the value of the portfolio grows. This is going to actually continue to trend in the way that it needs to actually go from overweight or underweight to where it's actually balanced in the portfolio. Now, one of the questions was basically, how do you set up a pie? Well, if you actually look at the very top here on this blue block, you got the invest, spend, borrow, research, and transfers. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to hit research. Okay, when you hit research, you're going to see my pies. Okay, you can click my pie. When you click that, you can actually create a new pie. I already have one here, so I'm going to delete this. Okay, we're going to actually just delete this for right now. And I'm actually going to use the metaverse pie to actually show you how to make a new pie. So what you can actually do first is that you can actually hit metaverse pie if you really like. And the reason why I'm showing you this way, because say that you wanted to take the pie that you actually have as a position in your portfolio is doing so well, and you just feel that this pie can continue to give you the return, and you just feel that your money can go a little bit further by continuing to use this pie as a hedge against whatever you actually decide to make a new pie of, right? You can actually hit add portfolio onto this pie, right? Not add portfolio, I'm sorry. You want to hit actually it's add to basket. Where's the one that say add to basket? So we'll go back out. Thought I had it right that time, but obviously sometimes I make mistakes. So you hit create new pie, and then you hit my pie, and then actually add to basket. See, that's what you have to do. So I'm gonna show you again because I probably did that too fast. So you would go back to metaverse pie. We'll come out of this. We'll actually escape out of this. We'll create new pie. Okay, then we'll go back to my pies. You'll hit metaverse pie. You will hit add to basket, and you see it goes down in the very bottom, and that's the very first pie piece that's going to add in. Now, this is a tech heavy portfolio, but let's say I wanted to actually do a retail discretionary portfolio, right? So say I wanted to add Simon Property Group to this portfolio, right? I can actually add that to the basket. It'll drop down there into the box with metaverse pie. And let's say I wanted to add one more retail stock like Revolve Group, okay? Revolve Group will actually come up. I can hit add to basket. And now you'll see if I actually slide myself to the other side that now you have an add button as well, right? So once you put one position in here, you get an add button. So now you'll see it'll add this basket together, and you tell me, ask me how do I want to edit it. So I can edit the positions in the portfolio, but it automatically does a management of it, and I can change the name to new retail pie, right? So now I have some I can save, and then boom, it asks me do I want to save it, and now boom, there it is right there, and now it's good to go. That's how you add a pie in, and you can do whatever you want to. You can delete these pies, you can build these pies, you can expand these pies. If I wanted to edit onto this pie, I can, or if I wanted to add to portfolio, I can go in and I can actually change the positions of anything that I wanted to do in this pie. but I don't want to do that right now. But that's what I could do, and that's my actual new pie that I actually have. Okay, so that's how you would be able to do that. So now the next question is, how long does it take to settle before you can start investing? Well, with me, when I actually started this account, I deposited $500. That $500 was wired to the account, and you can actually see this in the funding history right here, right? It's going to show that I actually put that $500 in there. The green means deposits. That means the purple means withdrawals. What happened was, it's actually just like being on a margin account, but it's actually not a margin account. What actually happens is they take the cash, they give you your buying power, they actually spend your buying power based on the pie allocations that you want to do, and they actually make that transaction and they still deposit. Let me just verify that they haven't withdrawn the money out of the account that I actually transferred it from, which I'm gonna say they haven't, but they may have already, because sometimes these accounts move a little bit faster than most. But what I believe that has happened is that they have not withdrawn it yet. But let me just verify that real quick for you. As soon as it logs me in, taking forever. But as I look into this, no, it has not yet withdrawn the money from that account, and that's fine. But it will withdraw it from you, for you eventually. So, but it has already given me the buying power, and it went on and bought the prices that I wanted at what the investments that I wanted at the prices that it could in the first morning session. So then that leads me to the next question is, once you set up a pie, how do you change it? So basically, I showed that already. Basically, you can come down here, you can hit edit, and then you can go in and you can change the allocations yourself. You can actually delete something off if you wanted to remove it, or you can actually select all and you can equalize. Anything that you really want to do, you can do it, okay, in that position. So that's how you do that. But the main thing that you should understand is that there's two trading windows. There's two trading windows from 9:30 a.m. on Monday, and then the 3 p.m. Monday trading window if you're an M1 Plus user, okay? Now, basically, what this means was we saw earlier is that you can use this window for the second time if you trade in both. So say you missed the first trading window. Say 9:30 a.m. comes, you missed the first trading window because you didn't deposit your money in there. If that deposit of money is actually able to happen the same day, M1 Finance will actually go in for, if you're an M1 Plus user, and actually do the transactions at 3 p.m. Monday at the market session at that point in time, and make it happen for you. And that's what you actually get a possibility of doing as well. Now, I went over everything that I think that you need to care about, and when it comes to the M1 Finance video right now, if you can actually follow all these same steps on the mobile app, it's just going to be manage your pie and go into all the steps that you need. Now, if you found value in this type of content, definitely hit like on this video, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to continue to be in on the plays with me, and even the knowledge that I bring to the stock market each and every day. As my knowledge grow, your knowledge grow. Reach one, teach one. But at the same time, bang that notification bell so you can be notified each and every time I drop way more high content like this. And if you have any questions, any comments that you want to make when it comes down to the M1 Pie, hey, let me know, man. Leave them down there for me, and I'll check them out, and I'll do what I need to do for you, the customer, in the video, because I love y'all as a fan, right? But at the end of the day, it was another question that was actually added in one of the comments of the previous Metaverse video, is that was Coinbase, one, Coinbase was missed. Thank you for that. So I added Coinbase in. But then two, do I believe that Facebook would be actually better than Apple in the Metaverse pie? Essentially, at this point in time, Facebook has way more to gain in the metaverse space than Apple does. So it's not about that I don't believe that Apple is a better company than Facebook. It's more so about that Facebook has more to gain in the metaverse pie situation. I'll talk about that in a whole nother video, but I just wanted to answer those few questions as it's dealing with the metaverse pie, and that's the reason why I found it relevant to talk about it in this video. So with all that being said and done, y'all already know what time it is. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Y'all stay safe. Peace.